Hey Libras, welcome back to the channel. I am Faith. This is my channel, The Divine Faith. Before we get on into it, I know you haven't heard what I'm going to say yet, but just because you are kind, go ahead and leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, all that YouTube-y stuff that you may want to do. So if you missed my Scorpio video, I said at this point, if your sign is on my heart to do, then that's what we're going to do. Even if it means that your sign is on my heart more than once in a month, I guess we're just gonna roll with it. And I'm not doing this. It's nothing personal. I just go where the energy takes me at this particular point because it's just easier and it just doesn't exhaust me. I've had a long day, but because this particular reading has been on my heart like the last 30 minutes, I feel so much energy. I feel energized. So maybe it's because a couple of you are kind of like manifesting for me to do this video. So lucky you, I am following the energetic cues. So, of course, this is for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So, if you have those placements, or if you just so happen to be cross watching because you're nosy and you have a situation going on, and you're just like, what the hell's going on? I'm about to. Here you are. Welcome. So, again, I'm not gonna take up too much of you guys' time because I know you have other stuff to do besides watching uh, tarot video for me, or maybe you don't have anything else to do. But let's see. Okay, I don't know if this is maybe tied to Catholicism, but I'm getting like a Saint Vincent, and I'm not sure if that is possibly one of the saints. I am not well versed when it pertains to Catholicism, but I'm saying that because maybe some of you could be researching or trying or stepping into kind of like a new religion. Like there's this experimentational type of energy coming through. So this may be the month where you are trying new things, things that may be taboo. And again, I mentioned religion, like kind of like organized religion. So maybe if you grew up Baptist, you may be dipping more into the pool of Catholicism, or it could be Pentecostal, or it could be Methodist, or it could be Buddhist. It could be any of that. But this may be an energy of you where maybe a big part of you is still trying to find your way. So maybe you feel that that can be achieved through trying these different things, avenues, okay? But it kind of does come across like a change of religion in some sort of way that some of you are about to do. But I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. I don't get that. But of course, everybody's different. Okay. What is this? Oh, we have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. There's an energy of steady work. Either this steady work is coming to you soon, and actually it could be in a matter of 8 hours. So we're just gonna say maybe the next business day. Some of you could be getting some sort of communication or something like that when it pertains to steady work. I also am picking up something tied to a gardener or gardening. But when I think about that, it makes me think of you need to tend to something. You need to make sure that you take care of it so that it doesn't die. So you may be in this particular energy where maybe you are neglecting somebody or something that maybe you've been tending to or growing for a while, and either you're about to abandon it, or it's just a matter of you could do better. Some of you may be putting care into whatever this thing is, but you're kind of half-assing it. So maybe that could be the starting point why some of you are kind of going in different directions, or maybe wanting to go in a different direction when it comes to religion or anything tied to spirituality, because maybe you've been feeling that you have been half-assing it a little bit at life. So you're looking for that motivation. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I also would say you have to be careful, because everything doesn't need to be consumed by you. And some of you, or maybe a lot of you, could be in that energy for the month of January where you're just like, you know what? I'm just going to try everything. It's like a buffet. There's so many options. Some of those options, you are very much aware of how they taste. And then you have the other options, you're just like, I wonder if that's good. But then you kind of have a nutty professor. If you've ever seen the movie, you have a nutty professor moment where you just want to try the whole buffet. You just empty it out. You got to be careful about that because everything is not meant for you to consume. And the same thing would go when it pertains to relationships. Everyone is not meant for you to consume. And some of you, either relationship is about to start consuming you, okay? Or it could be you may have moved on from a consuming type of relationship and you're possibly moving into another one. But you're questioning. It's weird because this also feels that some of you Libras, you're trying to convince yourself that whatever this thing is that you're over consuming or you're about to, you're trying to convince yourself, oh, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. But there's like there's this pause in your gut where it's just like, ooh, I mean, we're not saying that you shouldn't do it, but you should really consider your other options before you just dive, nose deep into this. But it does feel that steady work, like I said, is coming if we're talking about career specific. Um, or you just now got into a steady place when it comes to your career. You may be dealing with a Taurus or Taurian things. Okay, we also do have, yeah, and we also do have Cancer coming through. You may have Cancer in your chart. You actually may be a Cancer moon, or you may be dealing with somebody who is a Cancer moon. I don't know why I want to say not roughneck because that's probably very rude. It's like rough housing. I don't know. I would say you have to be careful as well during this month because it seems that someone is going to be being a little bit rough with you, whether that be communication. It could maybe be emotions, or maybe you're actually playing, but it feels that someone is taking things too far. I'm not going to take all those cards because I clearly missed my hand. So let's look at the other cards. Oh, Scorpio got this card too. Some of you may have to go back and watch the Scorpio reading because maybe you have Scorpio placements in your chart. But it's weird. I was just talking about the Cancer. But we have, of course, we have moon energy. Okay. I kind of want to say rolling in the dough, but I think that just clarifies what I was talking about, that you are getting to a place of stability when it pertains to your career. Again, if you haven't reached that point, I do feel it is coming in the next moon cycle. It will be before July. I know some of you, you're not trying to hear that because seems like a long time off. But think back to how fast things moved in 2023. And I would say also some of you Libras in 2024, you may find it difficult to catch your breath because things are going to be moving at a much faster pace. So if you can kind of remember how things kind of went in 2018, then I would say you may need to reference that to kind of get an idea of what you're looking at, or, what you're looking at for this upcoming, 12 months. Okay, we have Three of Pentacles in reverse and we have the Ace of Swords. I feel like some of you, either you got wrongfully terminated, or at least that's what you feel. You feel like you got wrongfully terminated, or there's just this energy of like you feel that you were dealt an unfair hand, or some sort of communication was used against you, or this may actually be something that you may have to navigate during this particular month. Your communication may be used against you. See, that's why sometimes it's just better to be quiet. And some of you will have to learn that the hard way a little bit during this month. Learn to be quiet, or it may not even really be about being quiet. It could simply just be about do your research and think before you speak. I mean, that is something so basic that goes back to grade school, kindergarten, but yet it is something that a lot of people, that common sense part is just not there. And I would say you have to be careful this month. Okay. And another thing, some of you may get hit with a dose of reality that you are 100% not going to like. And this to me smells like, I don't want to grow old with you. Someone is indecisive about you. And it may be this situation that I say it is over consuming you at this particular point. Okay. But there's a lot of fears. It maybe some of you are trying to overcompensate, or you're just over consuming something because it could be you fear people maybe seeing the real you. So you're possibly trying to keep up that persona that maybe you're always this or you're always that. And almost like people can sense it. People can sense that in authenticity. And that probably isn't a word, but it is today. Yeah, it's probably unauthentic, however you want to label it. But yeah, you get what I'm saying. Like someone is on you, someone is sniffing you out, and I think someone is about to call bullshit on whatever the hell it is that you're doing. They're gonna call bullshit, where it's kind of gonna be like, I don't really think that that's you. It kind of seems like you're putting on a front. So again, remember I talked about at the beginning that I feel some of you will kind of be trying to navigate to different paths when it comes to religion. Some of you may be navigating to this particular path because a partner or a relationship is wanting you to move to that particular path. So be very careful about that, because what I just say, you're not supposed to consume everything. I don't care if it looks pretty. Who cares? And some of you, you're just not really doing your research. And I feel that that's going to come back and bite you in the end during this month of January if you are not careful. If you are expecting an apology from a Capricorn, or a Scorpio, another Libra, Pisces, or a Sagittarius, you may have better luck learning how to ride a motorcycle, a Harley Davidson to be exact, unless you already know how to do that. Okay. Yeah, the Hangman. This to me is screaming no expectations. Some of you have very high expectations, or you have a lot of expectations in this particular relationship or whatever it is. You have all these expectations, and I hate to say it, it's kind of coming across that you could actually end up being disappointed, only because the other person just is not on that same wavelength as you. They're kind of going along to go along, and that may not necessarily be a bad thing, especially if it's still early. So for them, it's like, I don't want to rush anything. I just kind of want to see where it goes. But you, is like what I say, you're nose diving into the deep end, the very deep end. You can only go down. We know you can only go down so far before that pressure starts to get to you. And that may be what is about to happen in the month of January. You're about to put a lot of pressure on yourself to be this, to be that. You're about to put a lot of pressure on yourself when it comes to trying to map out the timeline when it comes to this relationship. And it kind of feels like you're just going to disappoint yourself. Yeah, the Page of Cups. Yeah, you still got some growing up to do, especially emotionally speaking. Some of you Libras, I hate to say it, your emotion, like the way you react to things, emotionally speaking, is the way that you would expect like an 11 or a 13-year-old child to react to. And that could just be based off of how you were raised, what the environment was that you were around. So you still have some work to do in the emotional well-being. And it's not going to happen overnight. And sometimes you can't figure this out on your own. You need somebody else to guide you, and you can't be afraid to go deep. You can't be afraid to reach out and touch somebody's hand and make the world a better place. You can't be afraid to do that. Okay. I just feel like this is and I hate to say it for some of you Libras, this is screaming a little bit. This is a emotionally immature relationship because of the way that someone reacts to things when it's not going their way. It could be you, it could be them, it could be the both of you. Okay. We have the Three of Wands. Yeah. Your mission, learn how to let things go. You're too easily offended. You're too easily hurt. How the heck is anybody supposed to form any sort of anything whenever they feel like they have to walk on eggshells? Or you may feel like this when it comes to the person you're dealing with. You may feel that you have to walk on eggshells because you don't want to upset this person, or you don't want to hurt their feelings. There's nothing wrong with being mindful, but if you're looking for a mama, go over there. Like, no, or a dad, nobody has that type of time. Okay. Can't be dadding you and dadding children. That is too much. And the same thing goes for you. You can't be momming them, momming your kids. Who has that type of time? Nobody. Time waits for no man. You can't get back time. Okay. So if this is you and you are in a relationship and you are mommying everyone, including the person you're in a relationship with, you really need to think about that. And the same thing goes if you know they're mommying you. Some of you don't want to admit it, but it is what it is. Okay. But it's not bad. Look at that. I want what I want and I want it now. You're going to give it, or you're going to give it to me now, or I'm going to act an ass. Not shocked. So that has to change. And some of you, there's this very powerful energy that I feel whatever this business idea it is that you are working on, or this business idea that you're about to launch soon, you got to get your stuff together, or who the hell is going to want to buy from you if you can't hone it in and understand everybody's not going to like your product. That's fine. That's fine. It's okay. Okay. And even if you kind of master this, that's good. You're moving past it. That means you're about to walk into a very strong part of your life. And I think I said rolling in the dough. Yeah. So you will be able to roll in the dough once you learn how to get your emotions under control. So once you get that under control, I feel like the world is going to be your oyster and you're going to be so surprised of the things that you accomplish. Stop trying to cater to everybody. To be honest with you, they really don't give a damn. So you're wasting your time, you know? But anyway, so Libras, this has been your reading for the month of January. I hope it helped, and I'll see you later.